All right, guys, this is Coach Farley here, PDJ number 89426 and a proud member of Team Trilogy. And you study skills guys were asking me about the in the bag, so we're going to do a legit in the bag. As you can see behind me are my replacement discs, things I like to mix in to keep things fresh, but we're going to go straight into it with the bag itself. I use the Zuka cart. That's this guy right here. I use it because it is easy to use on the course. Got this nice umbrella holder that'll hold an umbrella open for me. I've got the putter attachment and bag on the back here. Got my tags, putter pouch, disc grabber. It's a pretty good setup. And if you've got the money to spare, I highly recommend it. But let's go ahead and get into the discs themselves, shall we? Now, what I want you guys to know is that this year, in order to improve my game, I'm trying to adopt what we call a mold minimalist attitude. I'm trying to get many discs that are the same and beat them in differently and get used to them so I get different flights with the same discs. So, that being said, let's start with putters. I think you guys already know this, but my putter of choice is the Warden. I putt with a classic blend Warden. Very comfortable in the hand, very straight line. I like that it's beadless, and I have a lot of confidence in this. Now, when it comes to upshots, I like this classic soft Warden. The soft plastic lets it sit down. It also holds its stability just a little bit better, so it usually finishes a little more left for me. And when it comes to kind of tight wooded shots or something that I want to turn over right a little bit, I have a prime burst Warden. It's absolutely beautiful. So, those would be my putters. But I also carry one more mold of putters. And it is one of my favorite molds of all time. And that would be the Harp. I love the BT Soft Harp. It's not quite as deep dished, super overstable, something I can forehand. When it hits the ground, just like that soft Warden, it sticks. I like it so much, I went and got a backup for it. This one's a lot fresher, a lot more stable. This one I trust. This one I'm learning. Love the Harp. You guys should try it. So, moving on to my mid-ranges. Just like I said, my mold of choice in the mid-range is the Truth, specifically the EMAC Truth. I carry two EMAC Truths on me at all times, both Fusion. This yellow one is a little more flat top and a little more flippy. This pink one is brand new. This was a gift from my wife. It's a little more domey, tends to be a little more stable. So anytime the wind gets up a little bit more or I need something that's going to finish left, this is the one I go for. But these are my EMAC Truths. I carry another Truth. This is a regular Truth in the prime plastic. This is for shots where there's a possibility I might lose a disc. I would hate to lose one of my high dollar ones, so I carry this little bit cheaper one, but it flies just like a Truth. And right now it's still holding that stability. Really enjoy having this. In fact, this has been in the lake at Waco and it found its way back to me. So apparently it's supposed to be in the bag. On the flippier side of the Truth, I still like the Evidence. This was a Trilogy Challenge disc we picked up back in, I think, 2015. And it's one of my favorites. This is for tight wooded shots or anything that needs to finish just a little to the right. It's not super flippy, but it is an easy straight disc to throw. I highly recommend the Evidence for any of you beginners. On the other end of the spectrum, more stable than my EMAC Truths is the Verdict. This holds up a lot better in the wind. I can rip on this a lot harder and it's not going to flip. This used to be my favorite disc until I got a little bit better with the Truths, but I do love the Verdict. And something that you're going to find that all disc golfers carry is a stupidly overstable disc. And for me, I've named it stupid. This is my Lucid Justice. This is a get out of jail free card for me. I can't throw this thing far, maybe 200 feet. But this thing is so stable I could throw it into a hurricane and it's still going to finish left. Because of the stability, I can also put a nice forehand on it. So anytime I don't need to throw too far, I need to get around an obstacle to the left or the right, I can always count on the Justice. So those are my mid-ranges. Moving on into fairway drivers, this is where the bulk of my bag is. And just like my others, of course I have a mold of choice, and you guys probably already know what it is. But in case you don't, it is the Escape. This would be my signature disc if I were a pro. I'm not. This is probably my flippiest Escape. It is in the Biofusion plastic. I've had this about 1.5 years. I've relied on it quite a bit, and this is great for straight to turnover shots. Fantastic flyer. Some of my other Escapes. I have a super beat-in Flumu. That's the Fluid Moonshine. This is a great straight flyer. The plastic holds up really well in any weather conditions. Another one I plan on beating into flippy is this Prime Burst Escape. Right now it's just straight as can be, but when I'm done with it, it's going to be super understable. My favorite Escape right now is this Fusion Burst Escape with the hand-eye stamp. Best friend gave this to me. This is a beefy Escape right now, and I really enjoy throwing it. And my most stable Escape is this Red Lucid Escape. It's the most stable because it is red and it is lucid. If you're looking for overstable, you get Red Lucid, Red Opto, or Red VIP. Overstable Escape. Some of my other fairway drivers are, on the flippier side of things, is this Goldline Fury. This thing is more understable than my Underworld was. I really have to back off of it just to get it to fly somewhat straight. But I'm trying to use this to put down a backhand roller, or anytime I need something that I can throw on a hyzer and it's still going to flip up and ride right. It's a good disc. This is my wife's favorite disc, and she knew what she was talking about. It's a good flyer. The Red Opto Spark. This is a fantastic utility disc for me. 9 times out of 10 when I throw this, it's a forehand. It's stable enough that I can really put a good rip on it and count on it to come back. But I can also use this for skip shots or big hyzers. It's a really good disc. I'm afraid it may be coming out of the bag soon though because of these next 2 discs, and that would be the Explorer. This is a brand new disc that Ricky Wysocki's come up with, and it's about the same speed. According to the numbers, it's about 1 to 2 less stable, but it doesn't fly like that. The special edition was the first one I tried. It's a fantastic glidey flyer that always finishes left, and it got me to thinking about replacing the Spark, so I picked up a Red Opto Explorer, and the more I throw these, the more I enjoy them. Great discs. Couple other more overstable molds that I have is the Convict. This is kind of like the Escape's big brother. It's not quite as glidey. It's a good deal more stable, but when the wind gets up or when I really need to finish left or kind of get a skip shot, this is a good disc to have. Now, one that I've played with for a while is the St. Pro. Now, this is brand new. This is in the Opto X. But this is a really overstable fairway driver, so when the wind gets up, I don't have to worry about it. It has really good glide, very comfortable in the hand. Really enjoy having the St. Pro. And my 2 really workhorse discs for when the wind gets up are my Parafelons. This orange Lucid Felon is probably my most used. It can do anything for me. I can throw it short like a mid, spike hyzers, big hyzers, forehands, you name it, the Felon can do it. And because I liked it so much, I had to get something that's a little bit different, and this is a Fusion Felon. And this one is very puddle-topped. It means it's kind of very flat and almost concave here in the middle. This one's even more stable. When I really need to rip a forehand, this is the Felon that I go to. Last up, high-speed drivers, and I'm sure that's what you guys have been waiting for. However, I don't have a very big arm. So I only have 3 high-speed drivers, period, and they're all the same mold. That would be the Trespass. This that says my go-to, this is my Lucid Air trespass. It only weighs 158 grams. The lightweight lets me get it up to speed, and I find that this is really just a point and shoot disc when the wind isn't blowing. If the wind's blowing a little bit harder, I will go with this Fusion trespass with the really cool hand-eye stamp on it. Once again, I find the trespass, even though it's a little fast for me, it's still very point and shoot, and I really enjoy throwing it. This last trespass is the Lucid trespass, another gift from my wife, and this is just one of those lucky miracles. This is almost like an Enforcer or a Giant. This thing is really overstable. So when it really gets windy, or when I need a big skip shot, or a high-speed driver that I can forehand, this is what I go to. So, those are the discs that I'm throwing. That's what's in the bag. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And I look forward to seeing you guys out on the course.